Well, well, what do we have here? Ooh, we have a package. Yes, hello, Spoons313 here. It's Saturday morning on the 5th of the 11th, 2016, and I've just received my, I'm assuming that that's my replacement board for the broken one that was in the computer that I was making for Ben. The seller actually did message me and said that they were sorry to hear that, and that the supplier that they get them from sends them to them as tested and working, and he said that the fault was placed on himself for not actually retesting them before he sends them out. So he's at the moment told me to keep the offending board and let him know how I get on with this one, and keep him posted. So if obviously this one works all right, then I can put the other one back in this box and send it back to him in Warminster, which is cool. So yes, let's open this box, I suppose. Jump cut. No cats. Right, get off. Get off. You're ruining my shot. Right. And that one hasn't got P on it, so pack it in. Didn't come from that seller. Right, so bing. Here's the box open. Let's have a look inside, shall we? Ooh, orange foam. That's a good start. What's inside? Me, or is that a bit smaller, or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. No, that looks alright size. Oh, look at that, I've got another brand new back plate. How cool. Nice. Sorry. Alright, here's our replacement motherboard. Let's undo the wrapping, I suppose. Let me just place my camera about there. Like that. I know it's not the perfect shot, but I haven't got my tripod available at the moment, so I'm just going to have to just sort of sit there and not fall off. And I'll get my scissors. Oh, I've left them here. Scissors! I always hold scissors the safe way. Only kidding. Right, let's try and keep myself out of the shot because boy am I ugly.
Very, very gently because I don't want to catch the board at all. There's one. Okay. Might be able to do this without the scissors actually. Oh, I'm blocking the camera. No, that's going to be a bit of a bugger. Probably can't even see what I'm doing actually because I've moved it out of the way. Now I'm blocking the camera again. And I'm a professional, huh? I'm sure that's royalty free. Alright, you're just not going to let go, are you? You're just going to destroy the bubble wrap. You horrible thing. Right, not you, board. I don't do you.
I find it's nice to speak to your electronics, although they may be inanimate objects. If you treat them with respect, then they'll treat you with respect. And they might actually work, and that'd be great.
Blimey, how much tape is on this thing? It's good tape too, because it doesn't want to let go. It's really tack. Is that part? Is there a little... Careful. Alright, just come off around that bloody corner. There we go. Well, something's finished on my bus leg.
Ooh, this one says by airmail, par avion, Royal Mail. Probably wouldn't have sat that right there, but there we go. Right then. Right. Okay. Let's move that. Let's try not to touch that foam too much. This bubble wrap's anti-static bubble wrap, which is cool, but I don't really want to touch the foam, even if it is non-conductive. Right. It is fibres and stuff, so. Okay. So, here's our replacement board. We've got a new back plate with it, again, which is cool. Hopefully this one will fit a bit better than the other one does, because the other one's a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest. Excuse me. Ow, ow, fuck me, ouch. Let go with the bubble wrap, you twat. You hurt my fucking hand. Oh, some of the fucking solder just poked straight into my skin. Fucking hell, I'm not surprised. Look at those talons sticking out of it. Look at those, look. Bloody hell, they're sharp. Yes, we have our replacement board. Now, will this work? Who knows? Or will the offending chip, which is just below my thumb, here it is, you can't see it, it's underneath my thumb, that one there, that's the one that overheats on the other board, and that's why the other board doesn't actually work. So yeah, I've got the brand new board. This one does have all of the capacitors marked for conductivity, well, for continuity actually. I'm noticing a few things. Hang on. Probably nothing to worry about, but that's not particularly on there properly. I wish this thing wouldn't go out of focus so much. It seems to be in good nick anyway. I think I'm not even going to say anything. I'm not going to say fingers crossed or anything like that. I'm just going to say, look, let's give it a go and let's see what happens. And if this one doesn't work, there's always one more available. I really hope I don't have to wait that long. I'd love just to get a machine working, you know. I still need a 6-pin power connector, but that doesn't matter because I can still get the board working before I change the graphics card, which is cool. Will you focus and stay focused? Bloody hell! For sake, I had eye drops yesterday and my vision was better than this. There you are. Oh, pain in the arse. So yeah, here's a new board. Can't remember the frickin' model name of it, but it's an Intel 775 LGA 775 socket T board for Intel Core 2 quads and the like, with one PCIe 16 slot and one PCI standard slot. 5 SATA, yada yada yada. It's not mini ATX, it's the standard connection. Do you know what? I never remember any pin. I think these are 24. Hang on. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. There we go. It is the 24 pin power connection. So yeah, keep my eye on that. Sorry, I just keep looking at things moving around. I'm also looking to see how a jumper setting is set on this. There it is. Ultimate power LED. Do you know what? I think I might not have had to chop that LED thing. It doesn't matter, it'll still work because it goes on the I can't see for the viewfinder. It goes on this part here, but they actually have an alternate power LED which sits on these 2 pins here that are spread apart, like I said before, as they do. I don't know why they've decided to go for both when you can just modify the connection, but there you go. So you can see. If the camera will stay focused on it, that is. Come on, you bugger. It's not going to do it. Bloody thing. But yeah. So you've got two pins spread apart here next to that jumper setting. That's all fuzzy. Nice camera. But you've got the standard one that's on here. Anyway. I'll get myself sorted out. My office still needs cleaning. I'll pack this away again. Keep it safe, and hopefully maybe today, maybe tomorrow, I'll get this thing built into the board, built into the machine, into the case. That's the word I wanted, and we'll take it from there. Yes, both those laptops work. I've just upgraded those. Oh look, Jimmy White's. That's our pile of games for my upcoming gaming acquisitions video. Again. And there's the other case, still waiting to be built into a working machine with a silver front. I'm not going to spray the back of it now. It's too much like a pain in the arse, and the spray paint makes my wife sick. And to be honest, it's not even the best spray paint. It's a bit shite. But yeah. Want to see some more computers? Da 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 to there. Yeah, and the one on the top works, and the one underneath it is just the case. The one on the top is actually one of my XP machines. It's a Intel. No, it's not. It's an AMD socket 754. That's an AMD machine. It overheats at the moment, so I've got to sort that out. And then I've got the socket 478B, which is an Intel chip, and then I have the dual core 939 board actually, which is quite rare, but I actually salvaged this one that was completely and utterly rain sodden. It's a beautiful machine, and that's actually running Doom at the moment on the screen here, and it runs it absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I got the new board, and oh, you can't hear it because I've got my headset in. Hang on, and I've got it turned down. I'm going to play a little bit more Doom because I know this game's not everybody's cup of tea, but it's one of my old favourites. I absolutely love this game. So I'm going to crack on and have a go at Doom and poo my pants. Pack that board away and turn my camera off because I need to make some space on this card because it's pretty much full. So yeah, Voodoo 2. Catch you in a bit. Alright, hello there, Spoon313 here, of course. And here's Ben's case upside down on the floor there. I've just removed the offending board from the inside. I'm spotting quite a few differences on the bottom of this board. I don't know if it's going to be picked up on the camera. I do have a head torch on as well, so I can sort of light up what I'm looking at. You probably won't see that as much because I'm not going to point the camera at my face. I don't know if you can see it there, but there is evidence of a sticker being on the board there. That doesn't normally pose a problem. The interesting thing is when I bring the camera over to this side of the board. Here we go, we have a stamp right on some of the traces of the board. And funny enough, those messy stamps that are... I get too much light here, there we are. So you can see where it says R5 and all that sort of stuff. It's been stamped, goodness knows how many times, that it says 13 on it. Stamped and stamped and stamped on the traces of the board. If I turn the board over, they're directly behind the offending chip. Right next to those two capacitors on the left hand side there. Those chips are what overheats, and that's what causes the motherboard to fail. And if I turn it over, you can see that the traces are blocked with all this inky crap on the back. And there's a good likelihood that if I can clean that off of the traces, that this board will probably work. But I'm not going to reuse this board because there's another board I want to use. I fancy getting a few boards out of the drawer. No, it's not bloody... Sorry about this, people. There we go. I fancy getting a few more boards out of the drawer and seeing if there's any traces that have had ink stamped onto them and whatnot, because I've never... to be honest, I don't think I've come across any boards that have got this stamped directly onto the traces. They normally have non-conductive stickers that sit over the pins, not stamps that are directly stamped onto the traces of the board, which is bloody stupid. So this is the board that was in. You can see it's got the big intercooler on it. I'm now going to jump cut to the other board and show you that there is in fact something in exactly the same place. Okay, for those of you who are wondering, I actually have just touched the metal case and destaticised myself, so there's no problem there. Here's the replacement board. I don't know if it's quite in focus, but this is the replacement board. If I turn it over, just bear with me. Turn this over. I'll get it just on the angle I want. Let's get a little bit more light back in. Hang on. Light in the room. There we go. Okay, so this is the replacement board. You can see it's got airmail on there, bloody blah. Because these are actually sent into the person, they're sent into Blackmore, who I bought this off of, or Blackmoret. Here's the two capacitors, just like on the other board. These are the two little chips. If I just turn it slightly on its side, I'll be careful, I don't want to drop it. So, orient myself. There's the chips, let's turn it over. Alright, my camera's just going to be a dickhead, not focused at all. Anyway, we have got two stamps on the back of this as well. Now, will that cause problems or will it not? I don't know. But what I want to do is to just try the board with those stamps on it, and if it doesn't work, then I'm going to see if I can get some very light alcohol or something that won't hurt the board, and attempt to clean those off without damaging the traces of the board, and attempt to make a working machine out of it. But yeah, there's the two things. They're not exactly in line this time, but they are on the traces of the board. So let me just position this board in my hand better without breaking it. Here's a replacement board, so let's find out whether this one actually runs. Let's do this. Okay, we have progress. Yes, I actually have a post. No, this is not the new board. This is actually the one that I had before, that didn't work before, and I've worked out why they weren't working. I actually cleaned the back of this board a little bit to try and get rid of the stamps that are on top of the traces on the board, which aren't good. I couldn't get rid of those. So what I did was I fitted the new board with a CPU in it and just a stick of RAM just to test it. I don't know why that's so freaking blurry. Just to test it, and it was doing exactly the same thing. And I was thinking, what the bloody hell's going on? And we're going to move over to the case here so this can give me a better view, because it's really starting to piss me off. There we go. Anyway, there was the back of the board over here, and I had to lift it up slightly because this LED was dim before, which is not dim now. I had to lift it up slightly and the board would start to boot, and I had to try and work out what the bloody hell was going on. And it's stupid really, but it was all to do with the board risers, which is something that you don't encounter very often. But it just turns out that these board risers that were with this board, so I'm just going to hold that there. I don't know if it's going to focus on it, I really don't know. But these board risers were too long. They're just too high, and it was making the board sit uneven, and you know, just disturbing the way it operates. So as soon as I took all these board risers out and put some standard smaller sizes in, and I've also got some of these nice little spacers to go under them as well. I've put all those in, and the other board booted up. So I thought, right, that seems to be working. Let's have a go with the other board. Put the old board back in with the new risers, and it's fired up lovely. And I've now got a picture on the screen. This did start and restart a couple of times, but as for now, I actually have something I can work with. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is tidy up, put the rest of the screws in, make sure everything's fitted properly, and then I'm going to go ahead and try and boot. I'm going to try and install Windows 10 Home, which I've been waiting to use and I've got to give some feedback for, and we'll take it from there. So yeah, cool. And hopefully I'll contact the guy and just tell him, yeah, thanks a lot, I've got it working, and hopefully I can just keep the board, the other board, and I can end up with two boards. But I've done the investigating, so right, so I'm going to cut to the installation, I suppose, or maybe just when I've finished it all built up and ready to go. So we're going to jump to there. Right, I've got 10 minutes left to record. Hang on. Okay, so the computer's running. I haven't finished putting it together yet because I had unfortunately a stick of my RAM has broken since it was left out. So I had to go in the drawer and get another one. So I've got 4 gigs of RAM in this, 6400U 800 megahertz. So even though it's 4 gigs DDR2, it's still pretty good. There we go, Viglin. And the computer works. So I'm now going to get to finishing it off. Let's do that. It's working! It's working! It is working. I've got the power LED working. I've ruined a lot of the paintwork scribbling it around the floor, but it is working. As you can see on the screen. I'm now going to connect the hard drive and try and install Windows. Watch this space. I know I said it just now, but you know, I got the light source here now. Okay, so I've got the front on there for now, and the monitor on top and everything. Keyboard. I've screwed up the paintwork. I've done a little bit, but I don't know, it looks kind of rugged and stuff, so it's kind of cool. And I've stopped using this power button because it's just a big old clunky piece of crap. Like I was saying, before my camera went off again, I've disconnected this big clunky power button. It's old school, it doesn't work properly, it sticks all the time and it pisses me off. So that's gone, and all I'm using is the old reset switches. We don't really use reset switches these days anyway. So that little one there is a nice little clicky in one, works absolutely beautifully. So that's going to be the main power button. The other one's going to be covered over and not used at all. And I'm now currently just, I'm ready to burn the ISO of Windows 10 Home to a CD, then install it and apply the license that I actually purchased for £8.50 or whatever it was, and we're going to get Windows 10 booting onto this PC. So let's get that ISO made, or burnt to DVD. Alright, so we're now installing Windows 10 Home on the computer. I'll accept the term of the license. Last updated July 2015, blah 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 blah. This is legitimate Windows. I actually buy the license keys from legitimate sellers on eBay who are allowed to resell. We're not doing an upgrade, we're doing a full install, because this key only works on a full install. Unallocated space, so we're going to have to make a new partition. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. That's weird. Windows can't be installed on this device. Cancel that a moment. That's funny, it's not actually reading that hard drive properly. That's interesting. It reckons it's 0 megabytes out of 0 megabytes. That's really bad. Refresh. This is not something I encounter very often. This hard drive is part of 3 that I bought for 15 quid. Okay, I'm going to have to pause here. I think there's something wrong with the hard drive I've installed. It's either that, or it's not communicating properly with the PC. So once I get that sorted out, I might actually better install Windows. I don't know why it's doing what it's doing. It's really infuriating, but there we are. I have got another one, and I know that it does work, and it does read. Interesting. Okay, let's cancel. See if I can install a driver here for the hard drive. No, it's a drive. Alright, there's nothing found there. Alright, rescan. Alright. Okay, it's just X off these. Yes, I do. Yeah, I do, because there's something not quite right and I want to know what it is. Interesting. So this is still being a pig to install at the best. Look at that, it's not even... Yes, it is. Let's just take the old motherboard, idiot. So it's definitely interfering with it. I'm going to find out what.
Alright. There's a lot on this, isn't it?
Right, let's have a look and see. No hard disk drive. Right, so it's literally not picking up, as you can see right here. It's not picking up the hard drive at all. So I'm going to have to shut this down and have a look and see why it's not picking that up. Could be one or two different things. You know, I'm going to find out what it is, get it to pick up the hard drive, and then we're going to reinstall Windows and we shall reconvene. Okay, turns out it's not so fun to be me at the moment. I've also now been done over by someone else on eBay who sold me 3 320GB hard drives for 15 quid. I used 2 of them and then left them feedback thinking, well, they all work, so they must all be okay, because they were sold as working, and it turns out that only 2 of them work, and this one is a piece of crap. So I'm really not doing very well. You can hear it trying to spin, and it makes like a kind of high-pitched beeping noise on and off. So, spin, 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 spin. It's knackered. I mean, that's why the PC just will not pick it up. And it just says that there's no hard disk, so I'm now going to have to try and find another hard disk before I can crack on with this. Deep joy. Okay, I've tried booting this hard drive up using my USB docking station, and it still makes the same noises. It won't work. So I contacted the seller I bought these off of a couple of weeks ago. I bought all 3 for 15 quid. That's 320GB hard drives. They were all formatted and everything. The only suspect thing I had was that this one had a red mark on it, which is a bit weird, and that's something that I would do if I was going to chuck something away and I didn't want to accidentally reuse it. I'd put a red mark on it or something like that, write something on it. That's, I think, why this one's not working. So I've contacted the seller, and okay, I just got cut off because my camera ran out of memory for the last bit I was doing. But what I was going to say is that the seller's awesome, and they've got a few more 320GB hard drives to sell, so they're sending me a brand new one out for free, which is awesome. Now, I've just surrogated the other 320GB hard drive I had out of the 3 that was going to go into my Minecraft server, but I need an equivalent size hard drive for that one, so 320 is not going to work. I need a 500 for that one. So I've popped it in here. Everything's still a bit loose, but I'm going to go ahead and install Windows 10 Home 64-bit on this new hard drive. And there we go, the process begins. Alright, I'm not going to make you watch the entire installation of this, as it kind of looked like I was going to then, but I'm not going to do that. I'm going to jump cut until we get to the next screen, at the very least. Okay, it says it's getting ready. I don't even know what the view like that is like through my camera. I hope it's okay. It's actually just right next to me on a tripod, which is broken, which is great, hence the weird angle. But it's getting ready, so doing good. This is really eating into my recording time, isn't it? Alright, it's just come up. Let's get connected. So, mouse went off, there we go. Let's get connected to my Wi-Fi. Let's just key in my code there. Hopefully it's not going to show it on the screen, because if it does, I shall be jump cutting this bit. Yep, it's a long one. Verifying and connecting. There we go. Right. Oh, fucking hell, the wires got caught. Son of a bitch. Right. Sorry, camera, I didn't mean to hit you there. Alright, we'll use express settings. Let's get on with it. Just a moment. We are setting things up for you. Getting critical updates. Don't turn off your PC. Well, I think this is about as far as I'm going to get today. I'm going to get Windows installed on it. So, I'll see how far it's just going to get before my camera runs out of space again and I need to sort the card out. But it's going to do that. It's inevitable. So I'm going to leave the video here. This will be part 3. I've actually got a working machine now. It's got Windows 10 64-bit Home Edition on it. I need to remount the hard drive, and then once I've got everything sort of set in the case properly and everything, the next video will be installing all the games and testing everything on it that works properly, and hopefully I'll have a another 6-pin connector so I can install a graphics card in it, because without that it's a pain in the arse. It's just restarting again. But anyway, just before this runs out, I've got about a minute left of the recording. I just want to say thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I've been the Spoons313, and this is the end of part 3 of building a PC for Deval. It's a Viglin motherboard, and it's doing really well. Just to see what we're going to get to before this dies off. Not the computer, the camera. Battery's dying on it and everything. Fingers crossed the seller doesn't want the other board back, because that's a bit of a bonus. It's an awesome seller though, awesome. 10 seconds. Right. We're about to go off. Toodaloo. Just a moment. My camera hasn't got a moment. I was going to say it's got no room left to record. Just a moment, I'm almost there. I swear, I swear, I swear. Oh, make it yours. Ooh. I'm not going to do that. Skip this step anyway. Username.